right, I suppose we are live. All right, perfect. Yes, we are live. Welcome everybody. Welcome into the Stress Relieving Model Masterclass. We are going to have incredible 3 days together where I'll be sharing a lot of great information with you. In the meanwhile, as you all are joining, just jump into the chat box and let me know from which part of the world you are tuning in today. We'll take a couple of minutes and then we will get straight into the content, discussing with you something incredible that I've prepared. But in the meanwhile, go to the chat box and let me know from which part of the world you are tuning in with us today. As you're joining, just let us know in the comment section from which part of the world you are tuning in with us today. As you're joining, just let us know in the comment section from which part. All right, so without any further delay, let's get into our today's amazing, powerful, you know, topic, powerful things that we have prepared for you. All right, so welcome everybody. Welcome into this masterclass. Welcome into this webinar, whatever you want to call it. But I would love to call it as a masterclass because I believe what we have prepared for you is something that is incredibly, it's going to impact your life in a very incredible way. So it's about understanding, about how we can conquer, how we can overcome stress in our life. Now, it doesn't matter wherever in the world you are. It doesn't matter whatever you're doing. It doesn't matter, which country you live in or whatever your profession is. Irrespective of all these stuff, I know that we all go through stress in our life. Now, the question here is that, is it normal to go through stress in our life? Is it okay to go through stress in our life? It is okay to go through stress and anxiety in our life because there are many people for whom it is not okay, right? And they treat it in a very negative perception that you know, they really completely end up destroying their life. So I really want you to think about it today that when you think about stress, I'm going to give you a very quick exercise right now, like a couple of second exercise. When you think about stress, what comes to your mind? All right, think about it and then type in the comment section. When you think about stress, what comes to your mind? Right now, write down in the comment section, guys. All right, so when you think about stress, what comes to your mind? Think about it and write it down in the comment section. That when you think about stress, all right, we have an answer. It's negativity. All right, that's good. Think about something else. When you think about stress, what comes to your mind? Think about it. And I'm going to keep asking you this question. You know why? Because I really want you to understand that every single one of you are going to have different answers. All right. Some of you are going to think about negativity. Some of you are going to think about, you know, some of you are going to say that it's like feeling pressure. Some of you believe that it is getting bogged down, like not feeling good about yourself. Now, over the last 1 week, I have conducted a survey on two different platforms, where our company is. One is on Facebook group, another on Telegram. And I asked them a very basic question, which goes like this. What caused you the most stress in your life? And I gave four different options to audience, one about money, health, relationship, and work. And most of the people have answered money. Whether the poll has been conducted on Facebook or it has been conducted on Telegram, the answer was same. That the most stressing factor in their life is money. And I'm not shocked about it because I know very well that many people go through life, in situations like this when they really feel that money is causing a lot of stress in their life. There's nothing wrong about it because since our childhood, we all have been programmed in such a way that we have been believing and we have been forced to believe that money is the biggest stress in our life. People used to believe it from many many years and they still believe it because of our negative conditioning, because of our negative belief system. And this is literally damaging. When we were little kids, we never had any kind of stress. I want you to think about it. When you was a little baby, like you were studying in your school, you were studying in your college, right? You had no stress at all. You know why? Because at that time you don't even recognize something like stress. At that time you don't even know what does stress means. Although the stress was there, but you have never entertained the idea. But as soon as you get into the responsibilities of life, as soon as you started your careers, whether it's job or a business, all of a sudden it started feeling like that. Oh my god, I have to do this. Oh my god, I have to do that. And all of a sudden it started feeling like that the life is completely different. We started pressurizing ourselves. So we need to understand that, yes, there is something we call as stress, but then there are solutions to overcome it. There are solutions to come out of the situation. But the only way to come out of these situations or come out of, whatever challenges, stress, anxieties you are having in your life, the only solution is by understanding it in a proper way. Now, I'm going to share a story with you right now, and I want you to really understand that, okay? Because this is going to be a very, very exciting story, and I want all of you to remember this story, okay? Now, just look at your screen right now. As you can see on the screen, you will see that. Let me put it on full screen. All right. Now, as you can see that, there is a washroom. The walls are cracky. There is water, and then there is a repairman, right? Now, the repairman knows what is the root cause of the leakage. And what he's going to do is that he's going to diagnose your washroom and he's going to find out that what is that, the key point is that from where the leakage has been originated, and he's going to repair it. That is the root way, or I must say that is the best way to solve the leakage that is happening in your washroom. Now, instead of that, if you like temporary stop the leakage and then you just repaint your walls just to make it beautiful, it's not going to do any good to you. Why? No matter how many times you repaint the wall, until or unless the root cause, that is the leakage, is not being taken care of, the walls are going to get damaged over and over and over and over again. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, type yes in the comment section. If the story so far resonates with you and makes sense, type yes in the comment section. I repeat it for you. Now, you have a leakage in your washroom and it is causing your walls to get damaged, and you are trying to repaint the walls just to make sure that your washroom looks good. And you know that it's not a permanent solution, it's a temporary solution. And if you want a permanent solution, you got to go to the root cause. And what is the root cause? The root cause is find out the reason of the leakage, find out why the leakage is happening, and then solving it, and then maybe changing the pipelines. Similarly, my dear friends, in your life, if you want, if you want to resolve the challenges, if you want to get rid of the stress, you have to understand that you have to treat the root cause, not the symptoms. You have to treat the root cause, not the symptoms. There are many people who are dealing with the stress in a very worse way. They're treating the symptoms. Now, what do I mean by they're treating the symptom? They're feeling stressed out in their jobs and in their offices. There is something that is pressurizing them. Rather than working on what is pressurizing them, they are just saying, oh, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it day after tomorrow, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. And in that process, they are not understanding what a big negative impact they're creating on themselves. They are not at all understanding what a huge negative impact it is creating on themselves. So, my dear friends, you need to work on the root cause. Now, many people, when I work, when I ask them, when I talk to them about the root cause, they have no idea about it. They do not understand what the root cause is. They do not even, they do not even get to the point of what I'm saying. Now, if you know what does it mean by working on the root cause of depression or working on the root cause of stress, let me know in the comment section. If you know what is the root cause that on which you have to work, type yes, and then type what is that root cause on which you have to work in the comment section. You know, this is very, very important for anyone to understand. Have a look here. The root cause. If you have an apple tree in your backyard and the apple tree is not giving you the great quality of apples, you need to make sure that you are providing the right nutrition, the water properly, everything that is required. If you're not doing so, you are not going to have a great apple. So the point that I'm trying to tell you here is that if you want to overcome stress in your life, my dear friends, you have to work on the root causes. And that's what I'm going to discuss with you from now onwards till the end of this presentation. All right. That what does I mean by those root causes? What are those root causes? We are going to discuss that. Okay. Now, this is something that I always teach my client. This is something that I always discuss, and this is something I really believe in that everybody must understand. When I talk about the root cause, my mind always goes back to an example that I learned from my mentor Bob Proctor. The way he used to explain it. He used to take a reference of a doctor, Dr. Thurman Fleet, who was in San Antonio, Texas. And he said that all the medical profession has been treating symptoms of the disease. And he added on that, until or unless we don't work on the root cause of the disease, we will never, ever be completely healthy. Now, isn't that powerful? I really want you to think about it. He said that until or unless we don't work on the root cause, we are never, ever going to be healthy. Now, what does that mean? That means you have to work on the root cause. You have to work on the root cause, and the root cause is nothing else but it is your mind, your marvelous mind. Now Jay have commented that one of the root causes is procrastination. That's right, Jay. That is one of the root cause. But then again, that root cause is coming from the ideas that are programmed, that are literally programmed into our subconscious mind. It's all about the mind. It's all about the mind. As you already know that, we are discussing about the stress relieving model, and I said that on the day one, it's all about giving you a stress relieving model. So the stress relieving model that I'm going to share with you, it's all related to the mind. All Nightingale said that. He said, our mind is the most precious gift we have gotten, but the problem is that we got our mind for free. That is the reason why we don't value it. Now, just think about it. What Earl Nightingale said here. He said, our mind is one of the most precious gifts we have received, and we are not valuing it because we got it for free. Isn't that a big idea? Think about it. Now, I know some of you have participated in the poll, some of you have not participated in the poll earlier that I did on my Facebook and Telegram. What is your biggest stress in life? Go to the chat box right now. What is your biggest stress in life? Let me know in the comment section. Like, what is your biggest stress in life, guys? The chat box, it is open for you. It is open for you. What is your biggest stress in life? All right. So we have some of the answers. The biggest stress, they said, is the challenge with the money. The What else, guys? What else? I know money is a challenge for like many people, but let's keep it aside for a minute. What is your biggest? I mean, the biggest challenge. Think about it. Why I am giving you time in this question? Because this question is something which is very, very powerful. Okay. And I want you to give yourself time on that question. Now, as I was discussing with you that the root cause is the mind. So I'm going to discuss some of the ideas with you right now on the screen that are related to the mind. And I want you to really pay very, very close attention to what I'm about to explain to you right now. Okay. Now, we are discussing about the mind because, as I say, we need to work on the root cause, and the root cause is mind. But now the question is that since nobody has ever seen the mind, so how you can fix something for which you have no image? Like for example, when a plumber enters your washroom, the plumber know exactly where the pipes are. He already has an image. And even if he doesn't know that, he will ask you a couple of questions to build an idea on his mind that where the pipes are so that he can have an image in his mind so that with which he can work. Now ask yourself a question, when you don't have an image of the mind, then how you can fix your mind? That is the biggest problem. That is the biggest trouble most people are experiencing in their life. But today, in this session, I'm going to solve that problem. I'm going to explain you the easiest way in which you can have an image of the mind. You can start working with an image of the mind, and at the same time, you can really start experiencing, the amazing lessons that you want to experience in your life, or I must say, the amazing results that you want to experience in your life. And all it takes is a great understanding. When I say a great understanding, that means all it takes is to understand what is happening in your life related to what we call as stress, and then understanding that there are tools, understanding that there are ways, understanding that there are easy ways in which you can completely take care of whatever stress you're experiencing in your life. And now there was a great doctor, Dr. Thurman Fleet, who drew this diagram, way back in 19 some I'm not in the exact year. This is what he draw. And he said that let this big circle over there represents your mind, and let this small circle here represents your body. And then he added on that your mind is divided into two parts. That is your conscious mind, and that is your subconscious mind. And now the dumbbell shaped element here is your brain, the left one and the right one. Now I want you to look at that image. Okay. Now why I'm saying that I want you to look at that image, because there is a lesson in that image. There is a lesson in that image. And if you understood that lesson, my dear friends, your whole life is going to change like night and day. Okay. Now, when I say stress, what does stress means to you? For you, this may be related to money. For you, this may be related to relationship. For you, this may be related to your health, or for you, this may be related to your business, or any other reasons, right? But when I look at stress, I know exactly what it is. You know what it is? When you look at stress, a stress is an idea that your mind is consciously occupied with, and you are over and over getting emotionally involved with the feeling of the damage that will be done just because this idea is there in your life. And then you're expressing that idea to and through your body, which is causing you all the anxiety, which is causing you all the depression and all the dis-ease. For me, that is stress. And not just for me, this what I'm teaching you right now is based upon the careful observation, working with hundreds of clients over the last 5 years and delivering hundreds of sessions and studying hundreds of books. Then I came to this conclusion that stress is nothing but ideas that are of negative nature, and those ideas are fixed in your mind, and they are causing you all the trouble that you are experiencing in your life right now. And I want you to think about it. I want you to think about it, what I'm saying right here. You know what is stress? The stress is nothing but an idea that is fixed in your mind, that you're experiencing over and over and over again into your life. It is basically a negative idea that is fixated in your mind. And since it is a negative idea, it is making you feel bad. If it is related to money, it is making you feel that you don't have money. Making you feel that you are not enough. It is making you feel that your life is in a mess. Now I want you to pay attention to this next slide down here, right here. Okay. Understand that by law we have this choice. This is an exact law. This is called as the law of polarity. That it is our choice that what kind of ideas we are going to hold, or what kind of thoughts we are going to hold in our conscious mind. This is your choice. Every single day you're making this choice. Either you're going on the negative side by choosing negative ideas, entertaining negative feeling, and then getting negative results, or you're going with the positive ideas, entertaining positive feeling, and getting positive results. Now, as I'm going to explain you these slides, again and again, you're going to realize how powerful they are. Now, have a look here. Just elaborating it a little bit more better way. When I say you have two choices, that means either you can go on the side of ignorance, which is the negative side, or you can go on the side of knowledge, which is the positive side. Now, when you go on the side of ignorance, you are using weak thinking. That means you're entertaining the ideas why you cannot accomplish something. And on the other hand, when you choose the knowledge side, you're not worrying about what you don't have. You're not worrying about the knowledge. You're not worrying about the lack of resources. You are having a strong thinking, and you're thinking about solutions, and you're thinking about how I can accomplish something. And that's the difference between a person who is going through stress and a person who is going through abundance, a person who is going through, amazing feeling, or I must say well-being. You know why? Because the person who is going through a lot of stress, he's worrying about why he cannot. He's worrying about what he do not have. He's worrying about why he cannot. While the person who is going through a well-being situation, while a person who is going through abundance situation, he's focusing on what he have. He's focusing on what he can do with what he have. While on the other side, a person who is constantly thinking about, I don't have this, I don't have that, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, is the person who is experiencing negative results and is the person who is experiencing a lot of stress and anxiety in their life. And the reason is pretty simple and pretty clear. Now, in the next slide, I'm going to explain you both these sides in a very, very clear and a very descriptive manner. So I want you to pay attention to the next slide, okay? Now, let's talk about the people who are choosing the side of stress, all right? Who are choosing the side of ignorance. What happened with those people? Now, we already discussed that when a person chooses the side of ignorance, they are actually using a weak thinking pattern. That means they are worrying about why they cannot do it. They are paying attention to what they do not have. They are paying attention to why their life is a mess. They are paying attention to, why they cannot achieve things. They are paying attention to what is the problem. Now, you know what happened when they're thinking about this? They get into the state of doubt and worry. Now, when they get into the state of doubt and worry, what happened? They experience doubt and worry on the conscious mind. That leads to the confusion. Now, have you ever, now I want you to think about it, okay? Think about it for a minute. Have you ever seen a person who is having doubt and worry in his life is not confused? Let me know in the chat box. Now the answer is obviously no, right? That you will never see a person who is experiencing doubt and worry have no confusion, because obviously the person who is going through doubt and worry is going to be confused. He's going to be confused about what to do. He's going to be confused about what not to do. He's going to be confused about what is good for him or what is bad for him. He's going to have all these kind of confusion. And you know what happens when we entertain, I repeat, when we entertain doubt and worry over and over and over again, we originate at the subconscious level or at the subconscious mind that I call and that many people call as fear. Now, when the fear is originated at the subconscious level, pretty soon that fear is turned out into anxiety. When you're feeling that fear inside, you become anxious. You want to just get out of the situation. You want to do whatever you can to clear the mess. But in that moment, you're making things worse for you. And then what happened? That anxiety is always suppressed. Have you seen any person who is feeling anxiety, who is feeling stress, and he's openly admitting that to everybody else? That may seem like a funny joke, but it's not at all. It's a serious matter. I have never seen a person who is experiencing, stress, who is experiencing anxiety, and who is openly sharing that with every single person on the planet. Hey, I'm stressed out. No, we always suppress it. And when you suppress these ideas, when you suppress your worries, when you suppress your doubts, when you suppress everything that is happening around you, you know what happened? Think about it. You know what happens? That turned out into depression. Any idea that is suppressed in the subconscious mind will turn out into depression. And soon that idea will make you feel discomfortable. That is dis ease. That turned out a disintegration. That turned out a weak action, ineffective action. You know what? It creates results that you do not want. And this is what happens when you choose the side of ignorance, when you choose the side of stress and worry. But what happened when you go to the opposite side? That's interesting. When you go to the opposite side and you choose knowledge, okay, you know what happened? Now you're a strongly thinking person. You're thinking about how I can. You're thinking about what I can do. You're not worrying about what you don't have. You're not worrying about what situations or the problems you're facing. You're not worrying about whether you have the resources or not. You are consciously and deliberately focused on whatever I have. And then you are constantly seeking knowledge. And how we gain knowledge? We gain knowledge by study. When we study, it increases our understanding, it increases our awareness. And when happen, a person who has knowledge is automatically going to have faith. You know, think about it for a minute. Once again, let's think about it. A person who is having knowledge is going to have a better understanding than the person who have no knowledge. I gave you an example of the leakage. A plumber has a better knowledge of piping. That's why he has more confidence than you have in fixing the pipe. He has more faith in fixing the pipe. Right? Similarly, when you gain knowledge about your profession, when you gain knowledge about what you want to do in life, when you gain knowledge about how you want to improve your life, you really become more confident in your abilities. And ultimately, you gain more faith. Now, when you gain more faith, you're happy, you know, and you express your happiness. Have you seen anyone who is sad and saying, oh, I'm sad? Or have you seen anybody who is happy and saying that I am happy? I am very happy. Never. A person who is happy, his happiness is going to express through every single thing that a person do. That's what we call as that when a person is have faith, when he's living that life of well-being, he's going to become an expression. And that expression is turned out into acceleration. And that means that at ease, and the person becomes a creator. That means the person is creating the life of his dreams at that time. And he is taking the productive action, my dear friends. Now, how we can develop such kind of awareness? Understand that when we talk about personal development, these things are very basic and very simple. Okay, but it's the execution that is tough. Why it is tough? Because we are programmed with paradigms that are stopping us. And if we want to execute this information, we have to understand about ourselves. You have to understand about yourself. And the only way for you to understand about yourself is constant study. Study about yourself every single day, every single day. Get involved into productive material, get involved into good material, good information. But now let's talk about what is the most important topic for us. And that is the stress relieving model. Now, when I say stress relieving model, it is a very basic and a very elementary thing. You may have heard about it many, many times. You may have heard about it earlier also. But today I'm going to give you a correct outlook of that. All right. So the first step in the stress relieving model is your thoughts. Now, understand that thought waves are cosmic waves penetrating throughout the universe all the time. Every single thing that you see around yourself, the pen, the laptop, the mobile phone on which you're watching this session right now, the house that you are living in, the car that you're driving, every single thing was created by the power of the thought. That is the first step in this stress relieving model. Now, the second step in the stress relieving model is feelings. And then the third step is actions. Okay. And then the fourth step is results. And that goes again and again and again and again and again. Now, I want you to pay very close attention to understand what most people are doing right now. Okay. Why people experiencing stress? Because they make the results the step number one. When they make results the step number one, what they're doing is that they're looking at their present results. Now, their present results may not be good in the financial area, in the health section. What happened? They let this become their thoughts. Now, what will happen? Their thoughts will be doubt. Their thoughts will be worry. And when this happens, what they are going to feel? They are going to feel and experience fear. They are going to experience anxiety. What happened? That is going to cause them to take an action which is going to be non-productive. And when that happens, they get the results they do not want it. So how we can turn this model into our favor? Here is how you can do it. You know, you make thoughts your starting point. You don't worry about your present results. You think about what do you want. You forget about your stress and worry. If you are little short on money right now, don't focus on the bank account. Bank account does not reflect your worth. Bank account just reflect how was your mindset 6 months ago, 5 months ago, a year ago, or maybe 10 years ago. So you need to change that. Build an image of what do you want. And then make sure that you're working on improving your feelings. Feelings are not going to improve in one day. You need to constantly and deliberately work on yourself. You have to develop the faith. How you develop the faith? You develop the faith by study. And when that happens, you're going to have an absolute abundance, faith in yourself. And when you take action with that kind of belief system, what your action is going to be? Super productive. And that is going to give you the results that you want. That ultimately is going to make that loop going again and again, again and again, again and again, again and again. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that amazing? Now, I really want you to understand that, my dear friend. The only way for you, the only way for you to grow in your life is by understanding that your way of dealing with stress should be come from within, not from outside. Think about it. Now, when I say it should come from within, not without, that means you should focus on improving yourself. You should focus on becoming a better version of yourself. When you do that, guess what? Results improves. When results improves, life improves. So remember the TFA model. The TFA model states that you begin with the positive thoughts of a bright future. You begin with the prosperous thoughts of an amazing future. Every single day, you work on yourself, you study, you do gratitude, you be happy for what you have. And when you practice these kind of things, you're automatically going to be in the flow that is going to help you to get everything that you want, my dear friends. And when that happens, you get the results that you're seeking. You get the results that you have been seeking. So once again, remember the TFA model. You begin with the thoughts of what you want. Then you build your faith by studying about yourself, by gathering more knowledge about what you're doing, becoming expert at what you're doing, and then taking the right action that is needed. That's it. If you do that, your life is going to get better. Your results are going to get better. Ultimately, you are going to get better. You are going to get better. So the assignment for the day one is that write down all the doubts and the worries that you have about your life on a piece of paper tonight. Burn that paper and share the photos of burning your papers into our Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, wherever you can. All right. So do this exercise tonight, and we'll join tomorrow again at the 7 p.m. for for our day 2, where I'll be giving you another powerful exercise on how we can actually deal with our day-to-day stress. And make sure to let us know about today's session, your feedback, that how was the session for you, what you really learned from that session. Make sure to send us some of your videos so that we can really see, your energy also in that. So on that note, thank you so much, everybody. That's all from today. I'll see you tomorrow 7 p.m. Till then, take care, and bye bye. Live the life the way you want to live. See you tomorrow.